Hey guys, welcome back. Today I am going to be doing a review on some products that I was very kindly sent from Premier Performance. I'm gonna say February, a few months ago anyways, and I know it's gonna sound kind of desperate that it's June now and I'm only now doing the review, but I promise there was a reason behind it. I basically wanted to actually like properly use the products and then be able to give my best opinion on them, because like trying them for a week or two, it isn't going to make much of a difference. Like you aren't actually going to get to see the results that soon. So I wanted to try as many of the products that they sent me as possible. You can see the unboxing on my Instagram. So I've tried most of the products. There's been one or two that I haven't got to use to a full degree as much as what I would have wanted to review them, but I'm still going to give you my thoughts on the situation. So these are empty bags. I did hold on to the bags because I obviously used the product, so I only have the bag left. Bear with me, like. So we're gonna start with Performance Flex. So I had Poppy on this. Now, was it great? Yes. Could I see benefit? Yes. Cons behind it, and it's not even the actual product, it's just from my experience, was that my horse is really fussy and she hated the smell of it, so I ended up watering down the feed every single time that I was giving it to her, which it wasn't the end of the world, but it still had to add to it. And I don't know if you were going to get all the product, like the amount, I don't know if you're actually going to get all the product into the horse's system that way. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on it, but that was like my only thing. It is expensive, and as well, that's also the reason why I'm saying she's a really fussy horse. It took me 2 years to try and get her to like Pullmans, so like this is a 60 serving, so I had 60 days to try and get her to like this. But it is expensive, so like you kind of, I would start with a smaller bag just to make sure that it's one that your horse will actually take to, that kind of way. But the supplement itself, I loved. It was great. You could see the benefits coming through, supporting joints, all that kind of thing. For those of you who don't know or aren't aware, Poppy did have a pastern injury. She done soft tissue damage to her pastern. So putting her on something like this was great, and yeah, thumbs up from Emma. So next we have Stomach Maintenance. This was the first product that I tried on Izzy and Indy. So the benefits of stomach maintenance, I feel like you wouldn't physically see them because like it's not something that you can see a change as such. You can just see the difference like year by year or season by season. So it says that it's for an all-inclusive formula that has been designed to provide essential nutritional building blocks for a healthy horse. So it has vitamins, minerals, and herbs. I definitely saw that. So I put this, Izzy and Indy went onto this in February. Whenever I got the stuff off of them, January, February, moving into the start of summer, it was really cold in Ireland. It was raining, we had snow, you name it, we had the weather. So I think this was a great product to kind of help recover them coming out of winter. Now my horses did do very well over winter anyways, they did winter well, but this definitely helped as we were trying to take some of the feed off of them, that it just gave that bit of extra support without all the unnecessary feed coming into it. It didn't put a pile of weight on them, it didn't take weight away, it just balanced out their systems, which was ideal. And it was really helpful, again, for the time of year that it was. It done what it says on the tin. It's stomach maintenance, it's for the stomach, it maintains, like there's not much else that I can say about it, but I did actually quite enjoy using this. I would like to see further down the line, if I used it at a different time of season or a different season, would there be more benefits towards it? Like, would you see more benefits? Because there were 60 servings in this, so I had 2 horses on it, so I only got a month out of it. But I would be interested to see what else comes from it. The next product actually has stuff in it. This is Gutties powder. I'm using it short term, so for worming, field change, if they get loose droppings, it basically rebalances their pH levels in their hindgut. It's going to optimize the amount of fibre that they digest. So we love this. Now, I've had my horses grazing, like hand grazing, throughout the winter, so I didn't see as much of a difference, whereas I feel like if you didn't and they went straight back onto grass, this would definitely come in handy, because you would end up with loose droppings and things like that. Field change, it was more of just for the fact that they were going back out to more grass, help their gut kind of just adapt or readapt to being back out with grass, because I don't know about anyone else, but my horses are like food magnets, and no matter what it is, they will hammer it down. There's no doubt about it. So having them on this just for the couple of days that they were transitioning back into the field just helped to kind of keep everything settled. The next product is electrolyte cookies. I have a tab on that says post competition 2 cookies, so I've only used this like once or twice, but so far I think it's worked really well, because I give my horses the horse first heavy sweat when they're out competing afterwards. So this, I think, just helped hit a direct hit after like they were finished doing whatever they were doing. So like if it was Poppy jumping, I gave her 2 of these right afterwards when we were getting ready to leave, where she wouldn't have gotten her hard feed with her electrolytes until she got home. So that could have been like an hour or whatever later. So I think these were just good to like get a direct hit, and they don't smell bad or anything like that. I haven't tasted them, so, which is a shock, because I usually do taste everything that my horses have. Yeah, like these, this is what they look like. If it'll, hello, focus, there we go. That's what they look like. They don't smell bad at all. They literally look like the Calming cookies, which I will be showing you next. But yeah, definitely something if you have a really hot horse like me, or if your horses just sweat a lot, just pop one of these into their mouth and you should be good to go. The next product I'm actually going to show you before I get on to what Premier Performance are actually known for is their Premier Cam. I have always been really skeptical about cammers, because I've always found that they never work properly anyways. Magnesium cammers are useless for the horses that I have. I have mares and I have a thoroughbred, so they don't work. Magnesium doesn't work on them. So I started trying this on Indy when he was going showing. I was flabbergasted, to say the least. I'm actually like, I was lost for words. I had him on it for like 2 or 3 weeks before he started going back out, and then 2 days before it, I just kind of gave him an extra half a scoop, just to like, here you go Indy, like, don't kill me, that kind of way. And I like, the horse is completely different when he went out. I was actually shook. Like, usually now, Indy's a thoroughbred, he's an X-race horse. Everything last year was a parade ring to him, so he'd kind of be a small bit hyper loading. He wouldn't want to stand in the box. You'd bring him out and he'd be fine. Then you'd go and you'd show him and he'd be really hot, because he'd think he's in a parade ring, and like, Joe, there was just a load of, oh my god, excited things, and nothing was working. We tried earplugs, we've tried cameras, we've like just changed routines with him, all that kind of jazz, and nothing was working. This year then, and this horse hasn't been out in a box as well, might I add, in well over 7 months. He went down, loaded, first go, no issues, stood, we drove, we stopped, he stood for 40 minutes because we were a small bit early, 40 minutes, unloaded, stood there, went down to his class, a small bit like, oh yeah, cool, we're showing, blah, 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 blah. He had no earplugs or anything like that. He didn't like the earplugs last year. So I just said, not dealing with it. I'm not going searching for them in the grass. He went into the show. He stood for when in the lineup. He stood for his confirmation assessment. He trotted up, no problem. He was lovely for the judge. Like, I genuinely, as I say, flabbergasted with how well this has worked for him. And I've struggled to find something that will work for him. Like, struggled. We were on the struggle bus. And then we found this. And yeah, I just really want to say thank you to Premier Performance for actually giving me a camera that works. So I'm looking forward to seeing if we work on any other horse. Like, I know every horse is different, but the fact that I've actually found something that works for a thoroughbred is mad. And last, but certainly not least, we have the calming cookies, which is what Premier Performance are known for. These are the apple flavoured ones. I was a bit hit and miss about them. I'm gonna hold my hand up and say, I was like, I don't know how much these are gonna work on my horses, because again, they're hot and they are kind of spicy at times. So I was like, God, I don't know, like, if it's actually gonna make much of a difference. I'll start with Indy first. So Izzy hasn't tried them because she hasn't needed them, but I might try them with her when she starts doing some fun rides again, just to settle her in the box. But Indy, I gave him one or two of these when in line with the Premier Cam for his first show, and as I already explained about the show, it made the difference. Like, it just added that tiny little bit of extra that he needed, which was, it was so nice. It was just so he was so pleasurable. So I definitely think I'll be trying these with him again. And then for Poppy, so Poppy is hot. Her being hot and being sharp doesn't bother me, essentially. She's a difficult horse to ride, but she's not difficult in the sense that she's like stressy. She just gets hot herself. So with her, I was like, I don't know how much these are going to work with her. And she started going back out schooling and, you know, going back out traveling in the box and going jumping. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to try it, and I'm going to give her one before we, like 15-20 minutes before we load her. And that alone made the difference. I didn't give her any when we were actually going somewhere. It was when we were getting ready to put her into the box. Now again, she's not a bad horse to travel. She travels like a lamb. There's no issue with her loading or anything like that. But by giving her the cookie, it just settled her, and it just stopped all the like getting extra hot before she needed to, if that makes sense. Like, I gave it to her, she'd load, she'd stand. That wasn't an unknown fact with her. But when you'd get ready to unload her, you know, she was tacked, she was getting busy, she was ready to go, all the rest of it. Whereas this just settled her brain before anything happened, and before I gave her time to start, not overthink, but before I gave her time to start getting hotter, it just settled her. So there wasn't any time that her brain was going, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, because she was already settled. So for that alone, like, these are worth it, that kind of way. And again, they don't work on every horse. I don't know how well they would work for her if she was being clipped or for the dentist, because she usually gets sedated. So I don't think these would be strong enough. I'd probably have to give her half the bag. I don't know if they'd be strong enough for something like her in that sense, but just to settle her brain enough to relax it, even in the slightest bit, to stop her getting overstimulated in life, that's enough for me. They definitely worked on Indie. They work really well with their camera. Yeah, I'll be honest, I was skeptical. I was really skeptical of them, and now that I've tried them, I am no longer skeptical over it. So to wrap all that up, I just want to say a massive thank you to Premier Performance for gifting me and the ponies all these supplements and products for us to try. I am actually nearly overwhelmed with the results from them. I know it's taken me a while, guys. I know. But I wanted to make sure that I actually properly tried the product before I tried to give my opinion on it, because trying it for a week or two isn't gonna make much of a difference. So yeah, again, just want to say a massive thank you to Premier Performance. Very kind of them to send us the products, and I will catch you in the next one.